env for this one. That's why you saw that it was not responding. That's so when I use pip env, actually it brings this pip file, right? Yeah, but I realized school env actually was my virtual environment, so I've activated it. So when I cd into evening and I run python manage.py run server, yeah, then I'll have our system running at this port. Yeah, so let me try to pull it down, to pull it up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think our app says this port, then slash my blog, and then I think it is slash home. This should work. Yeah. So last time we managed to actually we created if I'm to bring back our code here, we did create a small app. Yeah, we did create a small app here. It was the blog app here, and we looked at a few instances like the models. Yeah, we did something to do with the models. We saw the views, and we saw the URLs. Then we saw basically it was models, views, and templates. Yeah, because like I said, Django follows this pattern: the model, the view, and the template. Yeah, but if at all you have any question, this is the best time to ask before we can try to dive in a little bit into the nitty-gritties of Django. If at all you had a lesson from last time, or I mean a question from last time, or you watched the video and something didn't go right, this is the best time to ask. Yeah. So do we have any questions as of now? All we are okay. Do we all understand the model view template scenario, or you need more light on it? This is the time to ask. Are we okay with in that regard to the model view template of Django? Joel Chigwe, you have a question?
Yes. Yes, I do have.
You can ask.
Yes, we have seen the view part, the view part of the Django. Does it make the Django as a full stack application or a back end only?
Actually, in a way, the Django as a framework, okay. You can decide to build a full stack application with it, front to back. Yeah, but if there are some scenarios whereby you will require a different framework on the front end if at all you want to customize your user interface better. So if at all you don't use any other framework for the front end, you'll use only the models and the views, then you create an API to serve maybe a React front end, right? Yeah, but if at all you don't want to, you just want to you don't want to customize your framework, or you want to customize it manually using maybe jQuery or something like that. Yeah, you can decide to build a normal UI like we did here. Yeah, because this is the UI you did. Yeah, but in most cases, even as we shall go on, at the end we shall have to build we shall have to leave all the because what you're doing mostly here in your HTML, it is called server-side rendering. So if at all I try to, okay, let me stop this server. let me stop this server like this. I've stopped, so Django is not running, and I'm going to go to wherever I put this this project. Let me look for it. It may take a little bit of time, yeah, but let me look for it. Yeah, okay, yeah. So I found this project here in my project directory. It's a little bit small, but I'm going to look for this evening folder, then I'll look for blog, and then I'll look for templates, still in blog, and then homepage.html. So I've double clicked homepage.html, and there is something I want to show you that right now, if the server is not running, you see actually, of course, this is HTML. This is HTML. It's the H1 tag here. This one will be seen properly. But in the ordered list, the things down here, the browser can't actually understand them, right? Yeah, it can't actually understand them. That's why it actually shows us the loop as it is. Yeah, without the meaning that we need. Yeah, so which brings up a topic that we shall see also in the next lessons. Yeah, currently right now in our Django app, everything is rendered on the server side. So by the time it reaches the front end, all these things have been turned into HTML, right? Yeah, but sometimes if a system is very big, this is not very good for your app. If a system is very big, yeah. Instead, what people do, they create an API so that a different framework like React will do all the rendering on the front end. Yeah, it receives an API, and the good thing with an API, you can also serve the API to a mobile phone, to a web app. Anyone who wants to tap into your app can actually tap into it, and it doesn't matter which user interface they have, it will work properly. Yeah, but currently right now, what is happening is that right now Django does this rendering and replaces all this information. Yeah. So that's why most full stack applications now, like serious companies, what they do, they don't even use, they only use the models, the views. Then there is something called serializers. Serializers. We shall see this one when we are looking at the REST framework. Yeah, basically serializers, it's kind of like it's where you define how your API will look like. Yeah, and what kind of what data you want your API to serve, something like that. Yeah, but to answer your question, I had to kind of like do a spin-off to kind of like try to bring in more concepts. Yeah, so at least are we okay with that one, Joel? Fantastic. Yeah, maybe just to highlight, this one is for a different client. Yeah, but let me try to kind of like increase. Basically, this is an API. This is an API for a different client, but so now maybe since you guys have already done React, you know how to consume an API. So you'll actually make requests to this platform, and you'll be able to use all these APIs. Yeah. Right now I'm using something that can help us to execute some of the code on the API and return a JSON response. Let me try to. It's still executing. Hope it doesn't take long. Yeah. While you wait for it, we can scroll down to see all these. All that you're seeing here, these are endpoints, and you can see there is the get, there is the post, there is the Get, if at all you want to get very many, there is the put and patch. These are update endpoints requests, and then we have the delete. You very well know it. Yeah. Let me try to see if at all the data has come. Yeah, the data is empty here. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, but at least what I wanted to show you that now this one actually it's serving is JSON. Yeah, all this platform is serving is JSON. All you have to do is get any user in any front end you have, and it will just tap into this. Yeah, and just like that. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. So Joel, at least you have gotten a small understanding of where we're going. Yeah, but with regards to today, I wanted to take a deeper look into form, I mean into models. Yeah, because like I said, models, that's where as in the models define actually our data. How our data should look like. The views, they're kind of like the glue between the models and the templates. Yeah, they handle our requests, so blah 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 and stuff. Okay. Yeah, do we have any questions from last session? Oh yeah, okay for now. So if you're okay, yeah, I can continue. Yeah, so okay. Yeah, so basically when I rerun our server here, you'll see that actually all that information, when I rerun the server, I will actually just type in 127, then slash my blog, then slash home. Yeah, it's still the same, but now, yeah, at least this data, it's picking it from the what, from the table. And I remember I also showed you the admin, yeah, the admin actually, it's also still open very well. Yeah, and the admin, it has our articles here. We can actually be able to see go into the article. We can actually let's add another article here. I know Valentine's Day is around the corner. Valentine's Day. Maybe linking up with my better half. All right, the date, we can say, let's first, Valentine's Day is on 14th, it will be a Sunday. Then you save. Yeah, so going back to our front end, my blog slash home. Yeah, Valentine's Day is here. Yeah, so you guys should be prepared. Okay. Chisembo is asking from the last session. My question is on your URL paths. All right, Chisembo, if at all you can unmute your microphone and ask the question, please. Chisembo, can you unmute your microphone and ask? Because the way you phrased the I don't know which part of the URL paths you didn't understand. Or it's the whole issue of the URL paths that you didn't understand. Can you be clear on this question? Chisembo, are you there? Yeah, you're saying in the url.py file, The url.py files, let me first try to close all these files, and actually there are two files to the urls. There are two files for the urls. There is one for the project. Remember, my site is the project folder, and blog is the apps folder. And I told you, with Django, everything is an app, as in there is a project, and then project includes mostly the settings and the main URL file, just like you see them here. But all these apps are many apps. Many apps are all under what? A project. Yeah. So Django your project can have very many apps, and each app will kind of like bring out a specific feature in your system. Yeah. And remember, I told you that you have to register your apps in the installed apps here, just like we did here. We installed blog.apps.blog config from here. Yeah. So she's saying the one directing to the views.py, that is the urls.py she wants to know about. Okay. I told you in when you first create your Django project, actually it comes with one urls.py file, which is okay. We can actually use only one, the one in the project file. Yeah, this is the one that first comes with this system. And yeah, but one thing you should know, that in your system, it is a possibility that you'll have more than you'll have more than one app. Now, like you can be here, and actually all of a sudden maybe our app becomes big, and we come here and say, okay, let's create another app called maybe payments. Yeah, supposing your wait, I made a mistake here. Yeah, it is Python manage API, then start app payments. Yeah. So if I refresh here, I should have another folder here called payments. Now, I'm assuming your blog becomes very famous, and now you're like, you know what? Anyone that needs to maybe subscribe to our blog needs to pay something. Yeah. So you create an app for payments. So you see here now, we have two apps. Then we have three folders. Yeah, this is for blog, our first app. My site is the projects folder. Payments is another app, right? So you see, blog, it's all about blogging and commenting. Payments, like each app, it is always important to make sure each app kind of like covers a specific feature in your system. Yeah. It's all about breaking down code in reusable chunks, because in most cases Django, however big a project can get, it will be very easy for you to manage because you have put it in manageable apps, something like that. Yeah. So all these apps, if at all they had only one urls.py file, it would be a little bit clogged in a say. Or maybe you could have something like this. You have maybe you're saying blog, then /home. Then maybe you create another one here. You say blog, maybe /create post. Then you come here and you say maybe blog, then delete post. Yeah. Okay, then it's okay. Now you say maybe the blog is done. Then you come here to maybe payments, then /home. Then when you're done there, you get to another one, you say maybe payments slash maybe delete maybe a payment. So it becomes a little bit clogged in that this is the main urls.py file, and you're clogging it with unnecessary URLs, because you very well know when the system becomes a little bit big, yeah, it will be a little bit confusing having all these URLs in one file. So like what we did last time was what you usually do, you delete all these, but instead you create sub URLs. Now like for our payments, would do something like this. Okay, maybe when someone types in payments, when someone types in payments, this one was my blog, just like that. This one, and then so if someone types in my blog, it will take him to maybe, if someone types payments, it will take him to payments .url. So that means we have to create another urls.py file in payments here, urls.py file here, so that it tries to resolve those URLs pattern that are in regard to only payments. Let me say it's a little bit of extra work, but this extra work actually will save you more time when your app becomes bigger. Now like here for my blog, when this is matched, it goes to blog.urls, which is here, and then like you see, they actually look the same. Then here it is this. So this one actually, if at all you want to access this, it will be resolved to like my blog / home, something like that. Yeah, but you see how organized our work is. Yeah, so getting down here, the issue is when you get to this part and this has been matched. Now like you want to open the home page, this is the view that will actually be called. Like I told you, the view is actually it can either be a function or it can be a class, but right now we are working with function based views. Let me just give it some little headroom. Here it's called home page. So we define our view here. It takes in a request as a parameter. Then all it does is go into the database and it uses this query, article.objects.all. It gets those articles in a list, and then it puts them into the dictionary, all the context that is sent to the client in the HTML page here. Yeah. So all you do is to refer to this in your URLs here, just like we did here. Now, because up here we are like, okay, we are going from this directory, we are going to put views. Yeah. And then we said, if at all this URL is matched, just call views.homepage. You see, we don't call it instantly. Yeah, it is called when that view is matched. That's why you leave it like this. Yeah, but when it comes to the class-based views, we shall actually call them in a more or less different way. Yeah. Was the explanation okay? Elena, how was the explanation? Did it kind of like try to explain that concept a little bit better? Okay, fantastic. But still, if at all anyone else has a question, please don't hesitate to ask. And I remember last time I shared with you the Django documentation. It's a very good actually resource for most of your or your go-to references. Actually, it is advisable that you should look through the documentation. Yeah. So here I'm going to look at one of the main topics that is very important. Uh, it has to do with models and databases. Yeah. Yeah. So today we are going to take a detour into models, because actually I think models are the most important thing in Django. Yeah, because they try to explain a lot about your data. Yeah, they try to explain as much as possible about your data. Yeah, I'll try a lot not to deviate from this kind of like article, but please feel free to stop me in case I'm rushing. Yeah. Yeah, so basically here, like they said, a model is the single definitive source of information about your data. It contains essential fields of the data that you are storing. Generally, each model maps to a single database table. Yeah, and like you are seeing here. Let me try to. Yeah. Each field you're seeing here, each attribute you're seeing here maps to a what? To each class will map to the database table, and each field will map to the database columns. Yeah, yeah. So basically here they're saying it contains the essential fields. So the fields like you saw, title, blah 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 blah. Then and they're saying each model maps to a single database field. And the good thing, our models, they're in forms of classes. Yeah. So what we did actually last time, we subclassed this model here. If at all you're very conversant up here, we did from Django.db we imported models. Yeah. Then we did models.model. It's the model class that it's importing from. The model class is model here. Yeah, and these models we also used it to the module models. We also imported it because it has the types of fields that the columns are defining will have. Like you see here, there is a text field. Is represented as a variable character in SQL, just like you see. So here they are bringing a very good point here. They're saying that each attribute of the model represents a database. Yeah. Basically each attribute, like I said here, the title, the story, and the date. Yeah. So with all of this, Django gives you an automatically generated API that we can see in making queries. Yeah, and that because by the what we do here, we define this model and we do nothing else. But all of a sudden, we can do awesome things like this because already this API exists. This code has already been done for us to help us to call to query our table. Yeah, and this one is called actually the object manager. Did someone ask a question? Okay. Yes, Joel, you can ask.
I'm asking, are we supposed to use something related to relational database on any kind of databases? We should think non-relational.
Yeah, Django is inherently configured to use relational databases. That's I'm sure you can use other databases. I think non-relational. Yeah, I've seen some articles of people using them. Yeah, but mostly Django. Yeah, it's pre-configured to use relational databases. Yeah, and actually Down here we shall still look at some of the examples we are having. Okay, yeah. So here they have a quick example that almost resembles the one we had there. So we won't basically spend a lot of time on this unless you have a question. Yeah, but basically we are importing the models, and then we're creating a person class that is also inheriting from the model class, right? And then it has two attributes, first name and last name. And now, like with the character field, it kind of like you have to define the maximum length of of the input that you'll be typing in. So the input that you are typing in has to be 30 characters or less. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so here they're saying first name and last name are fields of the model. Each field is specified as a class attribute, and each attribute maps to a database column. Exactly. So the above person model would create a database like this. Yeah. Now you guys who are gurus in SQL, this is actually what is done here will transpile to this. Yeah. So it create a table, and then that table will have an ID which is of type serial. It is not null since it's a primary key. And the constraint actually is also specified there as a primary key. Yeah, remember when you are defining here, you don't have any ID column, so it puts this one automatically. If at all you are very conversant with last time's tutorial, we actually had a chance to go into these migrations. Yeah, we had a chance to go into these migrations. This one, and we saw that actually, though we had not specified the ID on the article as a field, it actually created it. And so actually from this migration, this is where this SQL comes from, the one you're seeing here. So all this has all been done for you. So but still you have to know some concepts in SQL. Just like so some technical notes. The name of the table is the name of the app underscore the name of the class. But if at all you want to override it, you can use you can add some model metadata. And we shall see a lot on how to add model metadata. Then it's saying the ID field is added automatically, but this behavior can also be overridden. So if for some instance you don't feel like ID should be your primary key, you can just get one field, the one you want, you add a constraint of primary key, and then you can maybe just say true. So this field will be the primary key. Just like that. Some people use emails, blah blah. Some people create their own. It is still fine as long as you add it in the constraint. But if you don't, then it will take up the ID. Okay. So they are saying the creatable SQL in this example is formatted using PostgreSQL. But it's worth noting that Django uses tailored SQL to the database backend specified in the setting. So there is somewhere in the setting where actually I think I showed you this. When you go to the project folder and you go to settings, there is this part of databases. By default you define this, but if at all you had another database you wanted to attach to your system, like a PostgreSQL database or a MySQL or MariaDB or Oracle, the settings are always there. You can just get the dictionary and put it there. and it's okay. Okay. You very well remember last time after defining your models, you have to start using them. Yeah, if at all you had your admin site ready, you could start right away. Yeah, you could start right away with working with it. Yeah. So actually, if you have your admin, because the admin comes with Django, and you have your models, you can start right away to test your app. Yeah, that's why Django is very good for rapidly creating what apps. Yeah, because you have something to play with even before you can do so much. So here they're saying once you have defined models, you need to tell Django you're going to use these models. Yeah. You do this by editing the settings file and changing the install app settings to add the name of the module that contains your models. I believe we already did this in our app. You just add the app here and Django will automatically start tracking those models. Easy like that. Yeah. So exactly just like they are doing here. Yeah. This is the shorthand. Now, like even like for us, even if we did this, this is the name of the app, it would still work. Yeah, it would still work. Yeah, but I left it long as it is, so that I wanted to show you that this is actually the real app configuration. Yeah, yeah. But even if you'll find some people that only put the name of the app, which is still okay. An example, if at all our payments is here, we just put payments, and that is all. Yeah. But so when you find some people doing it the long way or people doing it the shorter way, don't yell at them. It's all down to preference. Yeah. So after doing that, then you can do migrate. Yeah, migrate basically. In order to migrate, you have to first make migrations. And I would like to ask you maybe this question. Why do you think they separated the migrate and the make migration commands? Why didn't they leave them as a whole command? Does anyone have any guesses why? Joel, should I repeat the question? Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Joel has been following. Yeah, it is all about version control or tracking. Yeah. Because at some point, now like me usually, at some point you want to actually set up your app in a totally different environment. Yeah. So the history in your migrations actually can help you to run that to have the same schema. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Then we go to fields. Yeah, this is the most important part of the model. The only required part of a model, yeah, is the list of database fields it defines. Fields are specified by class attributes. Be careful not to choose a field that conflicts with the model's API, like clean, save, or delete. Yeah. So they're actually saying don't use these words while giving your fields what names. You see the names we're giving. At least these ones are self-explanatory. Yeah, these ones are self-explanatory. So we have another one here. Album. Exactly. Now Joel here. The good thing this came up. Because we have a table. We have a class for musician and we have one for album, right? Yeah. And you very well know that okay, in a normal sense, one musician can create very many albums, but one album will belong to only one musician. This is kind of all factors kept constant. Yeah. This is how it is. One musician will have very many albums. Yeah. With the exception of Reddy and Weasel, since it was a collabo, right? But yeah. So basically, when one musician has very many albums, it is a one-to-many relationships. One musician, very many albums. Yeah. So what they do in order to kind of like to highlight the relationship, they add an extra attribute on the class that represents the many. Now, like here, one musician, very many albums. So they add a foreign key, and they add a field that represents. Actually, it's not a field; it's an attribute. Just like you see here, this one is called foreign key. Other fields are called char field, date field, image field. So it is an attribute. It's not a what? It is not a field. Yeah, these are the fields because they have field classes. Yeah. So when you define this field, when you define this attribute, you specify the first attribute should be the name of the model representing the one relationship. So here you get this one as it is, and you paste it there. So here they are saying they have another argument here called the onDelete. What onDelete does, it wants to know what should be done if at all a musician is deleted. Yeah, supposing we have a database of the musicians in Uganda, and maybe someone deletes Maddox Sematimba. Is it logical for the albums to stay in the database? Yeah, because they won't have any musician attached to them. So when you say onDelete models.cascade, that means if a musician is deleted, the albums are automatically deleted in the same query. Yeah. And so the SQL goes ahead to delete the albums. Yeah. Yeah, but there are very many other ways of handling deleting of a related field. Yeah, because sometimes it's not the best approach to delete. To just delete data. Sometimes there is a way you can handle it better, and we shall see it going on forward. Okay, to finish off, let's look at I think field types. Yeah, so we are saying here each field in your model should be an instance of the appropriate field class. Django uses a field class type to determine a few things. The type of column, which tells database what kind of data to store. Integer field, you very well need to store numbers, hints, variable character, text. Text I think is the bigger version of variable character. Then also actually these fields, if at all now like when you're in the admin here and you type add article. Let me first run this. When you have your models here, it's still failing. Let me see. Okay, yeah, let me remove this. It should work now. Yeah, so basically what I'm saying here is that still refusing. Yeah, these errors actually you should also learn to interpret some of these errors. It helps in the long run. All right. We're having an error here and I'm trying to follow it up. I'm seeing the circular import of payment.urls. Okay. Let me just go to URLs and try to first comment out this. Yeah, it should work now. All right. So getting back to what I was saying here. Remember, we said even to start off, if you have your models, you are good to go. You can just attach your model to the admin like we did here, admin.site.register article, and it will be able to show you all this. But now, haven't you asked yourself a question, or how do you think the admin will know to use it for the title? It's a character field. How it will determine why this is a small space and why this is a big space? Yeah, basically, when you define your models, it's the same data that is used to determine which kind of form field will be responsible for this. Yeah, and we shall look at forms at a later point and realize that actually the forms can also use the models to render themselves correctly. Now that's why you see here the story, which I said is a text field, is rendered with the what? With bigger space, because it has what? Yeah, it has it is a text field, and text field usually they take in more what? More text. Yeah. All right. Just like here they're saying, the default HTML widget to use when rendering a form field, blah blah blah, it is determined by the what? By the field type. Then minimal validation requirements used in Django's admin is automatically generated here. Exactly. Now, if I come here and I just click on save, you see they are saying this field is required, this field is required. It's because when you're defining a model here and you don't type anything, if at all I said blank is equals to true, and then I said null is equals to true, yeah, and I left it like this. So if I told them to go back to this and just, okay, let me reload this. Yeah, so if at all I try to save like this, yeah, it said it is required because after making that change, I have to actually I have to run migrations again, because this is a change that is going to be made to the database. Then I'll say make migrations. I made a mistake here. Yeah. Yes. So you see here, alter field type on article. Yeah. All right. After making the migration, you have to migrate. Okay. So let me run this server. Yeah, so if I try to submit an empty form, okay. Yeah, but it shouldn't. This shouldn't yell at us. Oh, I understand now. Actually, this is for story, and this is for date. Yeah, but the one for title, you see, even it is grade. Yeah, when actually you find it grade like that, means it is optional. But these ones in bold, they are what? They are compulsory. Yeah. So actually, hours worked. So this is kind of like when you define your forms, you even automatically include some validation, just like they have said there. And yeah. So as homework, people are wanting to finish up this article. It's not very long on field options. I at some point I hinted on the relationships, and but you're going to see a lot of things here with regards to field options, blah 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 blah. Please find some time and finish up this what I'll do, I'm going to push this our current code here to GitHub so that you can have something to work with. Yeah, I'm assuming you're going to clone it maybe, or to fork it, and maybe even after putting those changes, maybe you can send a pull request. Yeah, but let me add this link to let me add this link to our chat. I'll also add it to our WhatsApp group so that you can follow and finish up this document. Yeah, and then we can start from there. So Joel was saying, let me refresh my window. It's static audio received. So it's 10 minutes past 6, but if you have 2 or 3 more questions I can take, yeah, I'll definitely take them up. On Friday we shall be doing our first we shall receive our first project assignment. Yes, on Friday. So be ready to do some Django over the weekend. Yeah. One last question before we can call it.